Are you confused about which hero to use after the recent hero adjustments? Or do you spam one hero till the end of eternity? Well, whatever may be the case, I am here to make your solo rank life easier. Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video we will talk about top 15 best heroes to solo rank up in the current patch. Question and answer round time. The first question is from J Daniels 48, asking if Moonton revamping Gold Legend skin anytime soon. Yes my guy, not only his legend but God is completely getting a visual revamp with revamps on his skins too. The second question is from Adarsh, asking when I'm getting married. Well my guy, I have other priorities right now, but don't worry, I will invite you to my wedding. Ask your questions in the comment section and look out for the hidden codes in this video. We are not including heroes who are banned most of the time like Arlott and Minsita to keep the list usable by all the rank players. At number 15 we have Ruby. After the recent changes, Ruby is sure one hell of a fighter. Her sustainability is a whole lot scary. 1 minion wave and her HP is back to full. Her chain CC is one of the most irritating skills in mlbb, and everyone knows about her pull. Here are some tips for Ruby. Make sure your skills hit multiple targets in your range for a more increased spell vamp. Try to stay in the bush to hook rotating enemies and disrupt their positions. You can use this before turtle and load fights to hook multiple enemies. Here are the suggested builds. You can take a screenshot or pause the video to take a quick look as we update the builds according to the current patch changes. At number 14, Kadita. Kadita is surely one of the best heroes to ambush your enemy and deal very high damage with her burst from ultimate. She can knock up multiple heroes, is a very mobile mage because of her first skill, and is deadly due to her high burst. The best part is her invulnerable state in her ultimate, which can be used to escape if enemies try to gank her. Tips and tricks for Kadita. You can use Flicker instead of Petrify to surprise your enemy with her ultimate plus Flicker combo and finish them off. Kadita's first skill can absorb almost all the CC effects in the game, so make sure to time it well and not waste it to cover up the distance. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. Moving on to 13, Edith. Edith is truly a definition of a hero perfect for solo queue. She can frontline for her team, do some annoying chain CCs with her skill 1 and skill 2 combo, and deal a ton of damage from her ultimate. She definitely is a very tough competitor for Layla for the best tank marksman in the game. She can be played as a team roamer, experienced laner, and even in the gold lane. I will not recommend her playing in gold lane, but for solo queue, anything is possible. All the solo queue players sure know what I am talking about. Tips and tricks for Edith. Make sure your passive is full or almost full before using ultimate to get increased lifesteal and attack speed while she is in her ultimate form. You can use Flicker to surprise your enemy with the Flicker combo along with her first skill. You can check out some other Flicker tricks in the tagged video. Here are the suggested builds and emblems for Edith. At number 12, Irithel. After the recent adjustments on Irithel, she surely has become one very mobile marksman with a very high range and tons of mobility because of her ability to move and attack continuously. It is very hard to be out of the range of her attacks as she can just cover up the distance while attacking you back. The recent ultimate cooldown changes gave her option to use ultimate defensively too. The low cooldown of her ultimate and the ability to dish out a continuous barrage of attacks made her get the 12th position on our list. Tips and tricks for Irithel. Use your skill 2 first and unleash your basic attacks, as the slow and defense decrease helps you to deal more damage even in your basic attacks. Use your ultimate to clear the lanes quicker and rotate, and take advantage of the new low cooldown of her ultimate. By the time you return, your ultimate will almost be done with its cooldown. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 11, Olus. After the recent buff on Olus, he became more deadly in the late game and even in the early to mid game. He gets his power spike once he gets level 12, so while playing Olus, you should focus on getting your core items first. His ultimate and second skill combined can dish out some very hurtful damage, and you will be a sitting duck if you engage him 1 vs 1 in the late game. Tips and tricks. Use the movement speed boost from his first skill to rotate around lanes quickly and get your items quickly. After the recent changes, it is better to build CDR items and critical items, as it will be more beneficial for him rather than building lifesteal items. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 10, Clint. Clint, our sheriff boy, is almost forgotten now, but with the recent emblems and equipment changes, he is true damage monster if played properly. He has one of the best early game potentials because of his first skill poke damage. His damage in the late game is very scary, and the range of his passive is one of the highest in mlbb. A good Clint user can make the enemy gold laner's laning phase miserable. And combine him with support heroes like Diggy and Florine, and he becomes one of the biggest bullies in the game. Tips and tricks. Try to freeze lanes in the early game and constantly harass the enemy laner with your first skill and passive, denying them their precious early game gold. Use your passive to finish off low HP enemies by using his skill, even if the skill is out of range. Once you get the hang of his passive, you can easily finish off heroes in the back with low HP. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. Number 9, Chang'e. Chang'e has become very popular in the current meta list due to her ability to dish out continuous damage from a distance. And how can we forget the most famous buff stealer after Hanzo? Chang'e can become truly irritating for her enemy jungler if she knows how to read the timers on buff. She can force out red tree before turtles and lords and be sneaky to go to the opposite buff and steal it easily with her ultimate. She can clear lanes from a safe distance, and once fully equipped, she will melt even tanks like butter. Tips and tricks. Keep using your second skill at intervals even if the shield is present. After the recent changes, the cooldown decreases very fast after your basic attacks. So make sure to use your enhanced basic attacks to get a lower cooldown on your skill too. Don't kill this small camp while stealing purple buff to not let its timer cooldown activate, and check physically even if the icons for buff appear in the minimap. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 8, Brody. Brody is a force to be reckoned with due to his deadly basic attacks and ultimate. His second skill stun is very helpful in team fights. And when he gets his passive marks marked perfectly at full marks, he can deal a ton of damage even to tanks. Tips and tricks. You can use flicker plus second skill to surprise your enemy and launch your deadly basic attacks to finish them off. Use minion to get full stacks mark on your enemy hero to get instant full stacks or passive. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 7, Alucard. Alucard got some major buffs in the patch note 1.8.08, and now he has become a very good option to use in the jungle role. All the Alu mains, now is the perfect time to bring back your monster Alucard, as now he deals more damage from his skills, and the recent lifesteal changes made to him, he can regen his HP very quickly as long as he is dealing damage. He can easily dive in the backline. If played properly, he can outrun the trajectory of team fights. Tips and tricks. Do not engage in team fights if your ultimate is on cooldown. Use the low cooldown of your ultimate to calculate the time you need to have it back and clear the jungle meanwhile or get some important gold. Try to get at least one defense item like Queen's Wing or Brute Force to make your survivability even more. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 6, Martis. Our Ashura King Martis has put fear in people's mind in the previous season, but he is still a very good option when built properly. A durable Martis with his steroids ultimate can be a nightmare to deal with. As pesky as he is with his second skill, he can immune CC effects and become one of the truly invincible fighters. For tips and tricks, use Flicker with your first skill to slow down retreating enemies and finish them off. Try not to use the second phase of his second skill always, as it will make you have a very low cooldown on his skill too. And keep an eye on the number of stacks, as it can greatly affect your attack speed. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. In the 5th place is Claude. He is one of the least picked heroes in lower ranks. If you truly want to rank up, you have to pick other heroes and especially marksmen. And Claude is a very good pick as he has excellent mobility, extraordinary damage. And he even has a monkey. Now you can carry 5 monkeys in rank. For tips and tricks, try to stack up before using your ultimate to deal more damage. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 4 spot, we have Terizla. Terizla is truly one of the most terrifying fighters to go up against. He is everything that a fighter needs to be. You want a skill with crazy damage and great burst? He has it. Do you want the skill with CC and can trap multiple enemies? He has it. If you want ridiculous sustain or spell wham that can go up against 2 to 3 enemies at once, he has it. I don't know if any other heroes deserve this spot more than him. Tips and tricks. Since Terizla is very strong early game hero, take advantage and cut the lane. Use the rotation guide from this video and you have a very good gold lead in the early game. You should know the flicker and petrify trick with Terizla, so use them at the right moment. The new item Great Dragon Spear is a good fit for him. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. The 3rd spot, we have Noveria. Though she is not played in the lower ranks that much, she is an extremely good pick for solo queue. Her skills are extremely unique and good in lower ranks. Why, you may ask? She is one of the fastest mages. Her damage can be extremely good if you build full damage build. She can go through walls. Tips and tricks. She can go through walls, so go through them and give a hard time to all your sims. Always check bushes with your ultimate during load or turtle fights. They are even more important now after the recent update. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At the number 2 spot, Xavier. Xavier just received a buff and now he's a must pick. Xavier's early game was weak, but the late game was amazing. But now he is good throughout the game. Do you want to CC? He has it. If you want a speed boost, he has it. Do you want a kill stealing skill? He has that too. Tips and tricks. Try to use skill 1 and then skill 2 before the skill 1 animation is completed to have a mystic field in an instant. I know this is one of the most common tips for Xavier, but in case some of you don't know, always try to use this combo rather than skill 2 then skill 1. Use turtle and loads to get instant stacks of his passive. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 1, Leslie. Leslie has surely become a sniper in the current meta. The true damage from her hurts a ton. And I think she is one of the very few heroes who can truly take down a tank with 2 or 3 bullets. Positioning is the key to becoming a true sniper, as they also stay at a safe distance in missions. Tips and tricks. Leslie is known for her true damage and her kill stealing ultimate, but her conceal skill is extremely useful. Grants you a survival chance, so whenever you are stuck with too many enemies, use it and run. You can use your ultimate to give vision of the range of her ultimate. Just hold and do not lock on to any hero, and you can give vision to your team without the enemy knowing. Here are the suggested builds and emblems for Leslie. Did your hero feature in the list? Will you use this list to rank up faster in the solo queue? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. That will be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.